Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto is raised by Kurenai and Anko from the age of 5, part 1. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, BlueLionFox. Link is in the description. Also subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let's start the story. A 5-year-old blonde-haired boy was darting through the buildings trying to get to his apartment. He had blood running down his arm. He knew he got lucky this time, but if he didn't make it home soon he would get beaten again. He ran from the building he was hiding behind and was struck in the back of the head by a bottle. He fell down, and before he lost consciousness he was hit constantly, and called everything from demon child to bastard demon child and everything in between he could think of, and most he didn't understand. He woke up in the hospital. He didn't know how he got there or why he was there. All he knew was his body hurt badly. The door opened and the Hokage walked in. "Naruto, how are you?" he asked. "Stay away from me," Naruto stuttered. "Naruto," the Hokage said, confused. "No, stay away, you are just like them," he cried out, moving away from the Hokage. The Hokage looked hurt, and Naruto looked around for a way to get out. He saw the door behind the Hokage and knew he wouldn't be able to get past him, so he turned and ran to jump out the window. Lucky for him, he was on the first floor, so he dropped only 2 feet from the tall floor-to-ceiling window in the hospital room. He ran, not knowing where he was going. He just ran wherever his feet took him. He turned and ran into someone, knocking him down on his butt. He quickly got up and muttered an apology. He looked up at the teen he ran into. She had black shoulder-length hair, red eyes, and was wearing a white dress with a red shirt. She smiled at him. Naruto's eyes widened when she smiled. "Oh no, I'm in so much trouble," he thought. She looked at the fear that was written all over his face and frowned. "Do he think I'm going to hit him?" she thought. She then reached out for him, and he recoiled and shrank into the building, shaking with fear. "No, please, I didn't mean to run into you," he stuttered out. She frowned. "Come here," she said. His eyes widened and he shook his head furiously. "Oh, Uzumaki, Naruto, got over here now," she demanded, calm and sweetness from him. He hesitated and took a step closer to her. When he was within her reach, she pulled into a hug. Naruto froze at the contact and wormed his way out of her grip and ran. "What was that? Why didn't she hit me like everyone else? She knew who I was and still didn't hit me," he thought. He stopped and looked to see where he was and saw someone walking towards him, and they looked mad. He hoped they would keep going, but they stopped in front of him and punched him in the face. He fell down and the person punched him again and started to kick him. He continued to beat him. Naruto lost his consciousness. The boy threw another punch, but was stopped by Naruto's hand. He opened his eyes and there were red slits instead of the normal blue. He kicked the boy and stood up, then punched him hard. The boy's eyes widened when he felt how strong the hit was. He forced himself up and ran away. A few feet away stood the head of the Hyuga clan, Hayashi, and his daughter. They saw the boy get beat until he was unconscious, then he changed as if he was taken over by something. The girl looked concerned for him. "Why do they do that to him?" she asked. "You wouldn't understand," Hayashi said. "But he can't be much older than me. What could he have done to get treated like this?" "No, Hinata, he didn't do anything. People just don't realize what kind of mistake they are making," Hayashi said. "You will never watch as people do this to him, will you?" she asked. "No, this disgusts me. The Hyuga clan will protect him to the best of our ability," Hayashi said. "Should we get him to the hospital?" his daughter asked. "Yes," let Hayashi then pick Naruto up, and his daughter followed with tears for the boy that she saw only once, and he looked as if he was going to die. She thought about what she saw. Why did his eyes change from blue to red, like he doesn't have a bloodline? "No, he doesn't. I'll explain it to you once you're older. Just promise you will try to be his friend," Hayashi said. Naruto woke up a week later back in the hospital. "How did I get here again?" he asked himself, not knowing that someone was in the room. "So you only stutter when you're talking to other people," in a female voice. He slowly looked to the side. "Who are you?" he stuttered. "You don't remember me. It's not like a lot of people have natural red eyes," she said, faking a hurt voice. Naruto's eyes widened. "No, stay away from me," he cried out. She blinked. "What, I'm not even near you," she said. "No, those eyes spin," he cried out. "What spin? Tells me what you're talking about," she demanded. "Red eyes spin and then there is pain," he said. "Do these eyes have black around the red?" she asked. He slowly nodded, moving as far away from her as possible. "Look at Naruto, my eyes are naturally red. I was born with this color and I won't hurt you," she said. You know who I am, he stuttered out. Of course I do, she replied. And you didn't hit me, he said. Damn villagers, she cursed. Naruto, you must get your rest so you can recover your strength. Are you hungry? Yes, I couldn't find any food when I looked, he said. She looked confused and asked, where do you look? Everywhere is behind buildings, garbage cans, alleys, wherever I can find food, he said. She frowned. This poor child has to eat garbage. She thought, I'll take you out to eat. I know some people who don't mind you and will serve you, she said. Really, he asked. Of course, but you have to allow me to carry you. It will be faster, and by the way, my name is Yuhi Kurenai, she said. He thought for a minute, then slowly crawled over to the end of the bed closest to her. She smiled and picked up the 5-year-old. As she walked towards the restaurant, he buried his head into her shoulder. She smiled and walked into the restaurant and put him down. Naruto looked around and saw a lady who looked younger than the one he was with. She smiled. Hello, how can I help you? She asked. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw the knife in her hand and hid behind Kurenai's leg. She moved aside, so we could get some ramen. Okay, of course, we have customers, she yelled. Well, what can I get you? He asked, walking from the back. He saw Naruto and almost laughed. You look hungry. Would you like some ramen? Naruto looked up confused at Kurenai, then at the Gigi. Just one bowl please, he never had it before, she said. Well then this one will be in the house, Tucci said. He came back with a bowl of ramen. Naruto looked, then sniffed it. He looked at Kurenai, then back at the ramen. He just looked at it thinking it was poisoned or something. Kurenai saw this and picked up the chopsticks. How about I try it first, she said. She took a little bit and ate it. See Naruto, it's not poisoned, she said. Naruto smiled and took the chopsticks from Kurenai and started to eat. When he was done, he looked at Kurenai. Can I have more, he asked. Another bowl, she said. After Naruto finished the bowl of ramen, Kurenai made sure he was full and they left. She could see how tired he was and bent down to his eye level. Why don't you go home? I'll find you tomorrow to get you something to eat, he nodded. She hugged him and kissed him on the forehead. Naruto walked towards his apartment. Kurenai stopped to see where he lived so she would know. When he stopped in front of a building that looked like it could fall on him, she frowned and walked up to him. Wait, you live here, she asked. Yes, this was all Gigi could get me, he said. Take me inside, she said. He slowly nodded and walked in. He went up 2 sets of dark stairs. Kurenai had a feeling that his apartment would be below living conditions. He walked up to a door and opened it. Normally one would have to unlock the door then turn the handle to open it. He just lightly pushed it, and it swung open. Naruto, why is your door not locked? Kurenai asked. Well, I'm the only person living in this building. I don't have anything, and it doesn't lock or stay shut, he said. Kurenai looked around and saw that everything looked like things people threw out, and she could have sworn she threw that bed he had out a few months ago. She casually walked around making sure not to touch anything. She deeply scolded at how bad it was. It was worse than she thought it would be. There was no hot water and the cold water barely came out the faucet. The stove didn't work. None of the cabinets had doors. The bathroom had a sheet for a door. She didn't even want to open the fridge as she was scared of what might jump out at her. Of all the furniture, he had only the bed looked usable. As she looked closer at the bed, she was now sure it was her old bed, as she saw the soil stains left by her friend Inu's. But of all the things she saw, the only thing she would be taking out of the apartment with her and Naruto was a notebook that Naruto had. She looked in it and saw drawings of different things, but the things that stood out were the multiple kitsunes he had. Of course, they weren't very good drawings since he was 5, but they were better than any other 5-year-old she had ever seen draw. She was also surprised at a drawing that Naruto had of himself as Hokage. It was colored and shocked her at how much it looked like the Yondaime. She didn't have time to think about it now though. Naruto, you're coming with me, we have to see the Hokage, she said, picking him up and jumping out the windowless window. She ran to the Hokage's office and sat Naruto on the chair outside the office. Wait, she told him and walked in. As soon as she entered, Naruto heard yelling and screaming from inside the room. It scared him even if they weren't yelling at him. The people that walked past him either called him names or sneered at him. He couldn't take the looks or words anymore and ran into the office and clung to Kurenai. See what I mean? These idiotic villagers have made him have trust issues and afraid when they look at him, she yelled. I know and I'm sorry, but I did my best. There is nothing else I can do, the Hokage said. Your best wasn't enough. Have you been to his apartment? Nothing in it works, she yelled. I know, but there is nothing else. I already went over my boundary giving him that apartment. This matter is in the hands of the council, the Hokage said. Fine, then I'll take it up with those old jerkasses, she said. She then walked out carrying Naruto, who she picked up sometime through her rant with the Hokage. As she walked, she glared at anyone who dared to make a comment, or even look at him the wrong way. The entire time she didn't notice the clan heads listening into their conversation. Well, the Hyuga will provide protection where it's needed, Hayashi said. Inuzuka will also. It's a shame that he is so scared of older people and is hesitant to talk to anyone his age. Thanks to Sasuke for his constant beatings of him, he would have made a great husband for Hanatsume. Well, I'll let Ino decide if she likes him or not, but I will provide extra protection, Inoichi said. Well, I think it's safe to say we all will provide protection with our clans. But what about the Hyuga Council, Shikaka said. Don't worry about that. I know things about him that will make the council hesitant to deny him protection, Hayashi said with a smile. Well, I have to go. It's almost dinner time and my wife hates when I'm late, Shikaka said. Kurenai walked into her apartment. Naruto, you will live here with me, okay, she said. Okay, he said. Kurenai took him into her room and laid him on the bed. The next day Kurenai woke up and cleaned herself, then went to make breakfast. There was a knock on her door. She went to open it and found Anko on the other side. Kurenai. How can you stand me up, she said. Sorry him, but something came up, Kurenai said. It had better be important, Anko said. Kurenai moved aside so Anko could come in. She walked into her room with Anko following her. He is why I missed our date, Kurenai said. Ain't that Naruto Uzumaki, she asked. Yes, Kurenai walked over to the side of the bed. Naruto, I want you to meet someone, she said. Naruto opened his eyes and looked at Kurenai and Anko. He screamed out and backed as far away from Anko as possible and hid under the covers. Anko looked hurt. He has trust problems. It seems as if I'm the only one he trusts, Kurenai said. I don't blame him, I would, Anko said. Don't worry, he will trust you soon enough, Kurenai said. I guess, besides if he plans on jumping in the middle of our relationship we are going to have to trust each other, Anko said. Kurenai kissed her on the lips. I'm going to bathe him. Breakfast is done if you're hungry, she said. Sure, Anko said, walking out. Come on, Naruto, let's get you cleaned, Kurenai said. Naruto peeked out the covers and saw that they were the only two in the room, and he slowly crawled to her. Don't be afraid of him, she is a good person, Kurenai told him, picking him up and taking him to the bathroom. After bathing him, she took him back to her room and put him on one of her shirts. I'm going to have to get you some new clothes, she said, mainly to herself. Kurenai, he said. Yes, Naruto, she answered. Why are you so nice to me, he asked. She smiled at him. Well, Naruto, I also grew up without a family. My mother died when I was about your age, so I was put in an orphanage. No one ever adopted me because my parents wasn't the most liked people, and eventually I decided to train and become a kunoichi. I trained hard for years, and when I became a genin I met Anko. We became best friends, and soon her sensei left the village taking her with him. Since neither of us had parents, we was easily influenced by others. But in her case, her sensei was an evil man who does bad things to people. I don't want you to grow up like we did. I want you to have a chance to have a loving family. And I'm going to give you just that, Kurenai said. Naruto looked at her. Thank you, he said. Kurenai looked surprised, then smiled. You're welcome, she said. She walked him out into the kitchen. He saw Anko and attached himself to Kurenai's leg. Don't worry, she won't hurt you, Kurenai said. Anko looked over at him, then at Kurenai, she asked. Kurenai shrugged. He called me Nei-chan, so she left. I see, well, congratulations, Anko said, then went back to eating. Come on, let's get you something to eat. She sat Naruto on the opposite side of Anko and put some food in front of him. Anko watched as Naruto nervously ate, while keeping an eye on her, not sure if she would try anything or not. At first Anko was amused but soon got annoyed by this. Look, kid, I'm not going to hurt you, so eat your breakfast, she said. Home, please, he already is afraid of you, don't make it worse, Kurenai said. Anko rolled her eyes. I can see that, but he needs to understand that I'm not going to do anything to him, and he needs to get used to seeing me, she said. Kurenai just sighed. Just eat your food, then we need to go to see those old jerkasses on the council, she said. Okay, Nei-chan, he said. The council, Anko asked. Apparently the Hokage isn't able to do anything to help him since this is the council department, Kurenai said. Oh, I'll go with you since I have nothing better to do yet, Anko said. Anko and Kurenai walked in the council meeting with Naruto gripping Kurenai like his life depended on it, and his face was buried in her shoulder. The Hokage looked over at them. "Good timing, Kurenai, we were just talking about you," he said. "What is he doing here?" one of the council members asked. "He is here with me," Kurenai said. "Okay, we will first let Kurenai tell why she should be allowed to take care of Naruto," the Hokage said. Kurenai walked up to the front with Anko. She put Naruto down. He looked at the council and ran behind Kurenai and planted his face in her leg. Kurenai sighed at how they treated him. "First, I would like to ask, have anyone ever saw how Naruto was treated by the villagers? Have anyone ever thought about how he is going to survive by himself? Have anyone ever went to where he lives? Have anyone ever thought of how he is treated will affect him? Have anyone even given him a second thought?" she asked. "What's with the pointless questions?" asked by Danzo. "Well, I have. I followed him around and witnessed the countless beatings he has taken. I watched as Sasuke many times walked up to him and relieved his anger on Naruto because he couldn't defend himself. I have witnessed and beat him until he was unconscious, all for something that he had no control over or no choice in. His apartment looks like it's going to fall if a stiff wind hits it. Why is he treated like this? All because you can't get over what happened in the past," Kurenai said in a forced calm manner. "Why should we allow someone who is in a relationship with another kunoichi to look after him?" "So you're saying that because I like Anko that disqualifies me from taking care of him?" Kurenai asked. "No, we are saying no one will look after him," another council member said. "Well, I'm telling you that I will be looking after him," Kurenai said. "You will tell us nothing. We are the council, you do what we say," to one of the elders. "Actually, I'm the only one who can tell her what to do, seeing as kunoichis fall under the Hokage's domain," the Hokage said. "Enough of this, we are ending this now. She has my vote to look after him, and he has the protection of the Hyuga clan," Hayashi said. The Inuzuka second that, some said. "So does Yamanaka Inoichi. So does Nara Shikaku. So does Akimichi Chuza. And the Aburaim Shibi said. "Well, there you have it. With the majority of the clan's vote, she will be the official guardian of Naruto," the Hokage said. "What, this is a mistake. He should be put in my program and trained to be a weapon," Danzo said. "The decision has been made that this meeting is over," the Hokage said. "Let's go. You need new clothes," Kurenai said. "This isn't over," one of the council members said. "Any person caught attacking will be killed by me," Kurenai said. Then she grabbed Naruto's hand and left. "I'll see you, Kureheim. I have a meeting with the Biki in a few minutes about the interrogation and assassination position that's open," Anko said. "I hope you get it," Kurenai said. "Yeah, we could use the extra money now with him," Anko said. "I know, I'm going to have to take harder missions," to Kurenai. They walked around and no store would allow Naruto to enter. This pissed Kurenai off to no end. So they were walking around the village and Naruto still had on only Kurenai's shirt. It was early, so not many people were up yet, so Kurenai took him to the park. "Can you push me on the swing?" he asked. "Yes, come on," Kurenai said. They played in the park for a few hours. As people started to come to the park, Kurenai decided it was time to leave because she didn't feel like dealing with stupid villagers today. She took him back to his apartment. "I need to buy you new clothes, but no store will allow you in. Is there any style you want me to get you, or a certain color?" Naruto thought. I like oranges," he said. "So that's all?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "Good, I'll have an ANBU come watch you while I go get you new clothes," she said. There was a knock on her door. "Kurenai, Hayashi-sama has requested your presence at the Hyuga compound as soon as possible," Inu said. "Right. Hey Inu, you like Naruto, right?" she asked. "Well, I can't make a decision on that since I haven't had a chance to actually meet him. All our meetings were me stopping him from being killed," Inu said. "Could you watch him until I come back? I need to buy him some clothes and no store will allow me to take him in. I'll pay you for a D rank mission," Kurenai said. "Sure, I'll have Rabbit help me since she wanted to meet him and know if he was as bad as the rumors," Inu said. "Fine, but know if anything happens to me I will hold you responsible, and you will know why I'm a prodigy," Kurenai said. "Don't worry, I take my job seriously," Inu said. "Well, I should be back in a few hours," she said. "See you then," Inu said. He then pressed a button next to his ear. "Rabbit, come in," he said over the earpiece. "This is Rabbit," she said. "I'm watching Naruto for Kurenai. You can come meet him if you want," Inu said. "I'll be there," Rabbit said. Naruto sat as far away from Inu the entire time. Kurenai walked over to them. "I'll be back shortly. I have to go shopping then to meet someone. Inu will watch you, okay?" she said. "But do you have to leave?" he asked. I know it's hard, but I'll back down. She then kissed him on the top of the head. Here, if you need something, just write it down and show it to Inu, and he will get it, Kurenai said. Okay, Nei-chan, he said. Kurenai left just as Rabbit was coming in. They nodded, then Kurenai ran off. Inu and Rabbit looked at Naruto. Well, hello, I'm Rabbit, she said. Naruto just moved away from them looking scared. Rabbit blinked and took a step closer, which Naruto backed up from. She sighed. I'm not going to hurt you, she said. Naruto pulled the paper and pen closer to him. When came back, wrote and held it up so Rabbit could read it. Well, she will be back when she gets you new clothes, the Rabbit said. Who are Yoha wrote down. Well, I'm Rabbit, I'm in the ANBU, she said. Who is he? He wrote next. Well, I'm Inu, I'm also in the ANBU, he said. Kurenai ran to the nearest store and bought a few pairs of black pants that had orange stripes down the side and some orange shirts. She also grabbed some shoes and a pair of small weights, then left the store to the Hyuga compound. Hey, I'm here to see Hayashi, she said. You will have respect for Hayashi-sama, the guard said. Kurenai looked at him. He asked me to put time in my busy day to come here, now go get him, she demanded. Why were you cut off? It's okay, I asked her to come. Follow me if you, Kurenai, Hayashi said. They walked through the compound to his office. Why did you support me in taking care of Naruto? What's in it for you, she asked as soon as the door was closed. Hayashi chuckled. Actually, I need to talk to you about that. You see, the elders of the clan want him to either be killed or branded, and the only way I could prevent that was to support you in taking care of him, Hayashi said. Again, what's in it for you and the Hyugas, she asked. Let's just say this is payback for an old friend, Hayashi said. This has nothing to do with him looking like Yondaime does, she asked. What do you mean, Hayashi asked nervously. Well, I didn't know him well, but there is no way a random orphan will look this much like him. He is basically a miniature Yondaime. Also, I don't think the Yondaime would have just used a random child to seal Kyuubi, she said. Hayashi sighed. It's true, Naruto is the Yondaime's legacy. His mother disappeared after birth, no one knows what happened to her. I have suspicions, but I can't act on them just yet. Right now, the most important thing is to make sure Naruto is taken care of, and you're the best person to do that, he said. Suspicions on who, she asked. Danzo and the Elder Council, Hayashi said. I see. Well, you will need to pay me to keep quiet on this, Kurenai said. Hayashi sighed. I hoped you would understand what he said. Oh, I completely understand, but if Naruto is the son of Yondaime, and you want me to keep quiet, you're going to have to pay up. I don't get paid enough to take care of a child, Kurenai said. I see, that's what you mean. What do you want, Hayashi asked. Well, first I need a bigger place. I would like something with enough room for me, Naruto, and home, but not something too big, maybe 3 rooms, a kitchen and living room with a yard, and a monthly payment of either money or missions I can do for money at least until Naruto becomes a genin, she said. I understand, I'll get on the house right away. I'll try to find something close enough so you have the protection of one of the clans, hopefully mine or the Inuzuka. Also, I will mail you either the money or missions I need done, he said. Okay, also no assassination attempts on anyone in the village, he said. Deal, he said. Well, I have to get going. Naruto doesn't trust anyone but me, and even though Inu and Rabbit are trustworthy, he will not do anything that has to do with them, Kurenai said. I understand what Hayashi said. Kurenai left and ran home. When she walked into the apartment, it was as she expected. Inu and Rabbit were trying to get him to say something, but all Naruto did was shy away from them, afraid that they might hit him. She shook her head. It's going to be hard to get him to trust adults again, she thought. I'm back, she said. Nei-chan. Naruto got up and ran to her. Thank you both, Kurenai said. No problem, he is an interesting kid if you can get him to say something, Inu said. It's sad how they treated him, Rabbit said. Yes, I have my work cut out to get him to trust people again, Kurenai said. How did Anko see him? Inu asked. The same as you two, I guess. She tried to convince him she wouldn't hurt him, but he didn't believe her, Kurenai said. I wouldn't either, actions speak louder than words, Rabbit said. Yes, we will come around more to try and get his trust, Inu said. Rabbit, we have to get back on patrol. They disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Well, I have new clothes for you, she said, sitting the bag on the floor for him to look through. These are mine, he asked. Yes, don't worry, you will get more things from me as you grow and need them. Besides, I'm way too big for them, don't you think, she said. Naruto went through the bag. What's this, he asked, pulling out the weights. They are heavy, he said. That's your new weight so you can become stronger and faster. Do you want to become a ninja like the Yondaime Hokage? Really I can, he asked. Of course if you want to, she said. I want to, he said. Good, we will start your chakra training soon. First we have to work on your mental knowledge, but you're going to wear those weights all the time except when you're sleeping and bathing, Kurenai said. Can I put these on? He asked, pulling out a pair of pants and an orange shirt. Of course they are your clothes, she said. The next day Hayashi and Hinata went to Kurenai's apartment to find her, Anko, and Naruto eating breakfast. Hayashi asked. How can I help you? Kurenai asked. We are here about that house I promised, Hayashi said. Right, come in, Kurenai said. They walked into the kitchen. This is Hayashi Hyuga. He was nice enough to buy us a house, and this is his daughter Hinata. She is the heir to the Hyuga clan. Hi, and he said. Hello Naruto-dan, Hinata said with a smile. Hello Naruto, Hayashi said. Naruto looked from Hayashi to Hinata. He was lost in her eyes. When she looked at him curiously, his eyes widened thinking he did something wrong and ran to Kurenai. Hayashi laughed. Hinata, I think you scared him, he said. Sorry Naruto-san, she said. Don't worry Hinata, he is terrified of everyone, Kurenai said. Well, let's go show you your new house. I have some Hyugas waiting to move your stuff, Hayashi said. Okay, come on Haim, Kurenai said. I'm still eating, Anko said. So Kurenai said, pulling her out of her seat, you're setting a bad example for her. He doesn't even like me, Anko said. How do you know? He said he didn't. He is just afraid of you, Kurenai said. Whatever, why do I have to come anyway? Anko asked. Because you're living there in Kurenai. They arrived at the house and Kurenai noticed it was directly in the middle of the Hyugas and the Inuzuka's clan. The house was enclosed in a wall that went all the way around with a gate at the opening. The yard was big, it even had its own training field in it. The inside the house was painted a cream color, the kitchen and living room was separated by a large eating island. Off the living room was a small library that was filled with scrolls. From where Kurenai didn't know, they went up some stairs and found 4 bedrooms. One was painted light orange, one red, one purple. And the last one was cream colored. Each room had a bed and dresser and a small bathroom for itself. They went back to the main room. Hayashi, why this house is so huge? All I asked for was a house with enough room for us 3, Kurenai said. I know what you said, but it was agreed that you would need more because you won't be able to train Naruto the way you want outside in the village's training grounds. That's why we had this added on, and the scrolls in the library was given by each of the clans that supports you. Also the basement was made for chakra training that he is going to need. It was specially made so chakra won't be sensed outside the basement, Hayashi said. Thank you, Kurenai said. Can I have the orange room? Naruto asked. Of course, she answered. Well, the Hyugas should be bringing your things by soon. Anko, we need your permission to collect your things, Hayashi said. Anko threw him the key. I'd better not be missing anything either, she said. Hayashi and Hinata left. Well, let's start you out with the basics of being a ninja, Kurenai said. What should I do? He asked. First you need to know how to access your chakra, Kurenai said. Kurenai took Naruto to the basement. Anko followed. Okay, first do you know what chakra is? Kurenai asked. I heard Gigi talking and said that ninjas use it for something, he replied. But so you know exactly what it is? I'll explain it to you, she said. To perform techniques, ninja need to use their chakra. Chakra comes from 2 places. 1, the body energy inherent in the trillions of their cells, and 2, the mental and spiritual energy gained from exercise and experience. To perform the ninja will bring out and release these 2 energies. The amount of chakra required for a technique will vary depending upon its size and complexity. Each ninja has the potential to better utilize an elemental ninjutsu style, she told him. Are you with me so far? She asked. So basically I need chakra to use powers, he asked. Yes, exactly. If you can't use chakra, you can't use your powers, Kurenai said. Anko's sweat dropped. Only she would make it sound like a manga, she thought. Now listen carefully, I'm going to continue now, she said. He nodded. For taijutsu, the ninja does not need to necessarily use chakra, as some attacks merely use the stamina required to carry out the attack. For ninjutsu, the ninja's chakra control will determine how much chakra is used in the technique. For example, ninja with excellent chakra control, they will use the minimum amount with nothing wasted. For ninja with poor chakra control, they will expend more chakra than needed to accomplish their goal, Kurenai said. So I don't need chakra to use taijutsu, but the better I can control my chakra, the easier it is to use my powers, Naruto asked. Exactly, you're catching on fast, Kurenai said. She took a breath. Chakra flows through the body's chakra circulatory system. On a more microscopic level are these channels connecting all the vital points on the body. These small channel pathways travel between the cells of the body. They carry the generated chakra and allow the ninja to mold it. If these channels are severed, it is beyond the ability of even skilled medical ninja to repair. On the large scale, the chakra circulatory system travels throughout the body and around the internal organs, also responsible for creating chakra. This system includes 361, which are tiny pinpoints through which the chakra flows. The chakra flow can be increased or decreased by manipulating these. The chakra circulatory system is only visible through the use of the Byakugan. The Sharingan can see general chakra flow, but not the internal system itself. The Byakugan and the Hyuga clan's Jukin, gentle fist, attack style allows them to eject their chakra from their hands into the of their opponents. This pressure will cause them to close and block the flow of their chakra. With enough closure, the ninja's chakra flow will be almost nothing, eliminating their ability to use jutsus. Also, because the system travels throughout the body and around internal organs, pressure done against it will also damage nearby organs. Because a ninja cannot train and strengthen their internal organs, such attacks can be devastating, she finished. Huh, he asked? Basically, think of the chakra system as another blood system that you need to survive, and if they get hit they can kill you, Anko said. Oh, so these people can see them and hit them, Naruto asked. Yes, they are the only people who can directly attack your chakra points, Kurenai said. So how do you fight? Naruto asked. That will be taught by him. She is better at taijutsu than I am, Kurenai said. Okay, he said, looking nervous. Now I'm going to continue, focusing an equal and constant amount of chakra to a portion if the ninja's body allows them to attach their body to the touched object. This allows them to walk up vertical surfaces. By expelling a continuous set amount from their feet in proportion to their body weight, the ninja can walk on water. Ninja can also focus chakra to specific limbs, which will increase the muscle's power and strength. So you will show me to walk on water, he asked. Yes, Kurenai said. But I have to learn to use my chakra, he asked. Exactly, it will take a long time, but you will learn it soon, Kurenai said. Okay, he said. Chakra can also be extended from the body for an attack or defense. This can take the form of the chakra strings used to manipulate puppets in Kagutsu no Jutsu. It can also be focused to a fine point for cutting, such as in medics' chakra scalpels. It can also be used to form a defensive barrier in chakra no Tate. So it can cut things and defend me when I use it, right, he asked. While you're smart to get all this after one explanation, Anko praised. The chakra in the brain and sensory organs are also the primary target of Genjutsu is created when a ninja extends their chakra flow through the cerebral nervous system of their opponents to control their mind's chakra, thereby affecting their 5 senses. To combat the effects, there are 2 options. The first option is for the ninja to stop the flow of chakra in their body, and then apply an even stronger power to disrupt the flow of the caster's chakra. The second option is to have an outside ninja unaffected by the make body contact, and use their chakra to disrupt the caster's flow, Kurenai said. So it is very bad, he said. If you don't know when you're in, it can be Kurenai. So I have to learn all this, he asked. Well, you will, but not at one time. You have a few years before you become a genin, so we can take our time to make sure you know everything you need, Kurenai said. Okay, Nei-chan, he said. Before we start working on learning to use your chakra, you need to learn to defend yourself. Me and him are going to help you with taijutsu, Kurenai said. Naruto's eyes widened. I got to learn something now, he asked excitedly. Yes, now stand up, Kurenai said. But these weights are too heavy, he said. Don't worry, you will get used to them after you move around for a few hours, Kurenai said. She turned to Anko. I guess you don't know any other style he can learn, do you, she asked. Nope, all I know is my snake style, Anko said. Okay, we can teach him that for now, but I want him to learn a few taijutsu styles, Kurenai said. Fine with me, Anko said. Oturo will let him teach you taijutsu, Kurenai asked. Okay, if you think I should, he said. Good, I'll go make lunch while she starts to teach you, Kurenai said. Now my style is based on speed and reflexes and not power. You need to be able to dodge and strike at a moment's notice and be as unpredictable as possible. I'm going to show it to you, then help you learn it, okay, Anko said. Okay, he said. Anko went through the steps of her taijutsu slowly so he can get a good look for how it's supposed to be. She ended up turning to Naruto. Now let's start, try and copy every move I make as close as possible. Once you have the first dance right we will work on making it correct and flow right, she told him. Okay, he said. Naruto tried to follow Anko but his hand-eye coordination wasn't good, and he kept falling. After a few minutes of him trying to follow her and falling she stopped. First we need to fix your coordination, this way it will be easier for you, she said. How do we do that? He asked. Wait here, Anko ran upstairs. Kurenai, do you have a ball or something, she asked. I think I put it in Ototo's clothes because she asked. He needs to work on his coordination, Anko said. Oh, I thought you were working on his taijutsu, Kurenai said. Well, I can't if he keeps falling trying to copy what I'm showing him, she replied. She ran to Naruto's room and found a ball, then went back down to the basement. Okay, we are going to play a game. You have to dodge me while I chase and throw this ball at you. This will force you to move certain ways without thinking about it, she said. Okay, he said. She chased him around for an hour throwing the ball at him. Slowly his coordination got better, and he was able to dodge the ball a few times, but he was still hit a ton. Kurenai walked down with a tray of food. I didn't know you were going to have me play dodgeball, she said. Shut up, Kurenai is working. Slowly his coordination is getting better, she said. Good, now let's eat, she said, sitting the tray on a small table that was there. Over the month they worked on his coordination. Naruto stood in the middle of the yard with both Anko and Kurenai holding a ball in each hand, ready for Kurenai. Yes, Nei-chan, he said. Kurenai and Anko smiled. They were so happy when they were able to get Naruto to stop being afraid around them. Although he was still scared to go anywhere they weren't at, he didn't stutter when they were around. Well, at least not as much as before. And he didn't stutter at all when talking to them. Now we start your dodging training, Anko said. When are you going to teach me taijutsu again, he asked. Well, we have to wait till you have the right coordination, although it's better it's not where it should be, Anko said. Enough talking, Kurenai then threw a ball at Naruto, then sped to another spot in the yard and threw the other. Anko followed and soon the two blurted to Naruto while throwing the balls just slow enough so he could see and dodge them. Hello, is anyone here? A female yelled. Who was that? Naruto asked nervously. Ototo, don't start that, you know no one will do anything with us here, Kurenai asked. In the back, Anko yelled. The person walked around, saying hello to Anko and Kurenai. Hi Tsum, this is what Naruto, Kurenai said. What brings you here? Anko asked. I would have come earlier in the month but clan things kept me in the compound, Tsum said. I see how we can help you, Kurenai asked. Actually, I came to ask if there was anything you needed that we could help you with, Tsum said. Well, not at the moment, Kurenai said. Oh, this is my daughter Hana, she is the clan's heir, she said. Hello, Hana said. This is what Naruto, Anko said. Go on, say hi, Kurenai said. Hello, nice to meet you, he said. He is so cute. I wish he was a few years older than the 10-year-old said. Anko, Tsum, and Kurenai laughed. You're not the only one. A few of my friends' daughters wish he was older also, Anko said. So is there anyone thinking about letting him date Tsum? Well, the only people I would let I date are Hinata, Tenten, and Ino, Kurenai. Two clan heirs, and the last from what I have heard are great with weapons even at a young age, Tsum said. Yes, but it was them backing me and taking care of Naruto with Ino and Hinata, and for Tenten she has always tried to help Naruto, Kurenai said. It's sad how these villagers have made him terrified to even make friends, look at what Tsum said. I know I hate them for what they did. If only I could get in touch with Jiraiya or Tsunade, Kurenai as she watched Hana try to get Naruto to talk to her. Hana, he will eventually talk to you once he knows you enough. It takes a while to get him to trust you, Kurenai told her. Really, it took almost 3 weeks for him to trust me, Anko said. Sorry for falling into you, Naruto said. It's okay, Naruto, Hana said, then reached her hand out to help him up. Naruto pulled himself into a ball. No, he yelled, getting the adult's attention. Hana recoiled her hand quickly. What's wrong? I'm just trying to help you up, she said. Please don't hit me, he asked. What? I'm not going to hit you with, she said. Don't worry, Hana, he has a fear of people. I'm trying to break it, Kurenai said, walking up to them. So he doesn't not like me, she asked. No, he is just scared of you. The more you come around, the more he will trust you, Kurenai said. Okay, Hana said. Don't look down. That's actually better than what happened when Kakashi came over to see him, Anko said. That was because Kakashi showed him his Sharingan, Kurenai said. What's wrong with that? Some asked. Naruto is literally terrified of the Sharingan. When Kakashi showed it to him, Naruto almost had a heart attack and went unconscious, Kurenai said. Is he that afraid of the Sharingan? Some asked. When he was unconscious, I asked Inoichi to check his past and tell me everything. Even he had a hard time telling me what happened in Naruto's past. He had to take me inside just to see. And trust me, what those damn Uchihas did to him goes past treason, Kurenai said. So far past treason that Orochimaru would look like a saint, but of course the council wouldn't even hear the case since it involved the Uchihas being accused of something, Anko said. Did Itachi have anything to do with the attacks? Hana asked. He didn't attack him, but he also didn't help him. He just watched as it happened, Kurenai said. Why does that matter? As far as I'm concerned, all the Uchihas are to blame, Anko said. She and Itachi were kind of dating even when I told her not to waste her time with him, Sim said. Well, we are not anymore, Hana said. The entire time Naruto was running around in the yard kicking the ball as if he was playing soccer. He kicked it a little too hard and it hit Anko. Sorry, Nei, he said. It's okay, but watch where you throw the balls, Anko replied. I didn't throw it, I kicked it, he responded. Really? Show me, Anko said. Naruto spotted another ball and started kicking it around. Sometimes he would miss and other times he would kick it too hard. They watched as he continued to kick it. You can use that game as coordination training, Kurenai said. Some asked. Yeah, I tried to teach him taijutsu, but his coordination was shot, so we started to throw balls at him to fix his coordination, but it's taking too long, Anko said. I see, Some said. That looks fun. I'm going to have to play that with Kiba when we get home, Hana said as she started to kick another ball around. 2 months later, Naruto and Anko were in the yard practicing taijutsu while Kurenai did a mission for Hayashi. Naruto had been learning the first 2 of 12 dances. It took him 2 months each to learn the first 2 dances, and he was trying to combine them. During the 2 months, Kakashi and Yugo, Hana and Sim, Hayashi and Hinata, and Tenten and her would stop by so they can get to know Naruto and help with his confidence. Kurenai was proud of his progress and promised to start his chakra training when she got back. Every month, Kurenai also increased his weight. She also took interest in Naruto's drawing that started to make her wonder if he knew about Kyuubi or not, because most of his drawings had to do with a kitsune. Gaki came with me. We are going to see Gigi, Anko. Okay, Nei, Naruto said. They walked to the Hokage's office and Naruto had Anko's hand in a vice grip. They walked in. Hey Gigi, I need to ask you something, Anko said. What's that, Anko? I can't lend you more money for food, the Hokage said. No, it's not that, and me and Kurenai are making enough now to get by. I need your permission to send a summon to find and ask Tsunade for some chakra control scrolls for the Anko said. The Hokage thought about it. Fine, but you are forbidden to mention him in the notes you send or anything about him. Also, if you can try and get her to come back to the village, the Hokage said. Sure, but you know she won't come back, Anko said. Worth a try, the Hokage said. Let's go, Gaki, Anko said. Bye Gigi, Naruto said. Bye Naruto, the Hokage said. Back at the house, Anko was in the kitchen writing down in her scroll when Kurenai came in. What are you doing? She asked. I'm sending a summon to find and give this note to Tsunade asking her for chakra control scrolls. Oh, are you going to mention him? Kurenai asked. Gigi said I was forbidden to mention him or anything about him, Anko said. She then gave the summon the scroll and it disappeared. Finally being able to combine the first 2 dances together. Time for you to teach him to access his chakra, Anko said. Right, let's go to the basement, Kurenai said. Nei-chan, can I ask you something? He asked to get up. Sure, Kurenai said. Why do I see a kitsune when I'm asleep, and sometimes when I get beat unconscious I would see a kitsune? He asked. Anko and Kurenai looked at each other. Sat down, Kurenai said. She took a deep breath. 5 years ago the village was attacked by Kyuubi no Kitsune, the 9-tailed kitsune. Yondaime battled it, but he couldn't beat it, so he sealed it. Unfortunately, you were the kid who sealed it in Kurenai. You mean I'm a demon? He asked. Anko and Kurenai frowned at that. Look, you're not a demon or the kitsune. You're Naruto Uzumaki and your little brother and always will be. So don't ever call yourself that again, Anko said. And those who call you that don't know what they are talking about. They are too stupid to see that you're keeping us safe by making sure the real demon doesn't get out of its cage, Kurenai said. So you don't hate me? He asked. Don't start this again, If we hated you we wouldn't be taking care of you. We both love you and always will, Anko said. Yeah, now let's go. We need to start your chakra training soon so you can learn to use the chakra Kyuubi lens you, Kurenai said. What do you mean lens me, Naruto asked. Well, Kyuubi is able to see some of the stuff but not much, and has been lending you small amounts of chakra to keep you alive. But since we came it has done it less and less. I believe if you can talk to Kyuubi you can work out a deal that allows you to use more chakra in exchange for a little more freedom, Kurenai said. Is that a good idea? I mean, if Kyuubi tried to kill everyone would he try it again? Well, that's why you need to make a deal. It has to have a reason for attacking us. Then if we find out why we could make Kyuubi's punishment more bearable, Anko said. Okay, Naruto said. Well, let's go, Kurenai said. The two went down to the basement to start training. Now I need you to sit in a meditation position. Kurenai also got into this position. Okay, now what, he asked? Close your eyes and try and find a glowing ball in the pit of your stomach. It should be blue if you find it. Say something, Kurenai said. Naruto closed his eyes and concentrated on finding his chakra. After a few hours of just sitting in the same position, Naruto started to lose focus. Then there was a bright flash. Not that the two could see it, and it pulled them both into the light. What's this? Naruto asked. I don't know. Stay close to me, Kurenai said. She went into her pouch and pulled out 2 kunais. They walked down the wet hall and found 3 doors, one named Strength, one named Courage, and one named Memories. Kurenai went up to the doors and the only one that was opened was the one that said Memories. So she let him in. Once they were in, she wished she didn't bring him in since they were memories of his past. Naruto buried his face in Kurenai's back as she led him down the hall. Welcome, she heard. She looked around and saw no one. Show yourself, she demanded. I can't come to you, you're going to have to keep walking, the voice said. Kurenai gripped the kunais tighter and led Naruto on. Where we asked as she looked at the gate. The door they walked out slammed shut. Thank you for coming, the voice said. Kurenai pulled her kunais up. Show yourself, she said. The voice chuckled. You're a brave one, but I'll stop making you wonder. The voice stepped up into the light. I'm sure you know who I am, the voice said. Kyuubi no Kitsune, Kurenai said. Correct, Kyuubi said. Why did you bring us here, Kurenai asked. Not my choice. It's the design of the seal, Kyuubi said, pointing to the seal with his paw. Okay, but how do we leave, Kurenai? Well, you leave when your business here is finished, I'll assume, since it brought you here for a reason, Kyuubi said. I see. Well, since we are here, let's work out a deal, Kurenai said. Okay, Kyuubi said in a curious tone. I want you to let Naruto use your chakra when needed freely, Kurenai said. My chakra? What exactly do you mean, since the seal draws out my chakra when needed anyway to heal him, Kyuubi said. Well, I have noticed that after the Uchiha's last attack on him you would interfere when he was beaten unconscious, Kurenai said. Yes, I can't die now. Can it look bad on me, Kyuubi said. Here is the deal. You let Naruto have access to your chakra without interference, and you get a little more freedom, Kurenai said. This is interesting, just how much chakra you are talking about, because if he takes too much I automatically will take over, Kyuubi. Well, he will have the freedom to access your eyes as if they were and at least 1 tail's worth of chakra, but he is only allowed to use that much chakra if he is about to die, Kurenai said. I see, but there are some people who are more powerful than 1 tail's worth of my chakra, Kyuubi said. Well, how about he gets the equivalent of 2 Kage's level of your power, and if he is fighting another he will need enough to fight that person on an even level, Kurenai said. You do realize that even if I agree to this he won't ever be able to take more than 4 tail's worth of my power, Kyuubi said. That's fine, Kurenai said. Now you said I get more freedom, explain this, Kyuubi said. Otudo, what are you willing to trade for this deal, Kurenai asked when a boy who hasn't taken his face out of her back the entire time. He thought, senses, he whispered. Okay, you get to taste, feel, hear, see, and smell everything he does, basically anything that has to do with the basic senses, and you get to talk freely to him in his mind, but you have to promise on your 9 tails that you won't try to take over him, Kurenai said. Kyuubi thought for a minute. Fine, I agreed to that deal, and I promised on my 9 tails I won't take over his body. But I also want one more thing, Kyuubi said. What's that, Kurenai said. You have to summon me out so I can walk around as a tiny kitsune, said. How can I do that, and how small, Kurenai asked. Well, the kitsune have a summon contract. The last to use it was a kunoichi of the old whirlpool named Kushina. The contract kitsune will bring it to you to sign it. It's a family-only contract, that's why no one knew about it, said. How did no one notice a family summoning kitsunes, Kurenai? Because kitsunes are not fighters. Like the canine, we are expert trackers and can find anyone who we want if we even have the smallest scent of the person. We are even better than the canine, Kyubi said. So you were summoned, Kurenai asked? No, I was not summoned like I said. The only person who signed our contract in the last 25 years was Kushina. I was forced to be summoned by an Uchiha, Kyubi. Uchiha, Kurenai asked. The one who has the eternal Manjikyu Sharingan, Kyubi said. Why were you summoned though, Kurenai asked. I'm guessing because the only person able to negate the effect of the Sharingan on me was not here or is dead. Some lady with a diamond on her head, Kyubi said. I say thank you for telling me this. I will try everything to find the one who summoned you and make them pay, Kurenai. No, don't, that will not do nothing but cause more war. You must train him to access his chakra. Once he have access to it, I will train him in his sleep to use my eyes and chakra to the full potential that he will be able to. Also, if you don't mind, I would like to make this for him and his future kids, Kyubi said. Sure, Kurenai said. Good, now you need to leave, Kyubi said. They opened their eyes to find themselves in the hospital. Kurenai groaned. Why are we here, she asked. You were out for a few hours, Anko said. What, really? It only felt like for a few minutes, Kurenai said. How did he wake up when she finished? Anko looked over at him. He was just now waking up, she said. The Hokage cleared his throat. Would you be so kind as to explain what happened, he asked. Kurenai looked around and saw not only the Hokage but Tsum, Hana, Hinata, Tenten, Hayashi, Inoichi, Ino, Shikaku, Shikamaru, Chuza, Choji, Shibi, Shino, Kakashi, and Yugao. What are all you doing here, she asked. Well, Anko sent a clone to tell us you were in the hospital, and we were with our kids at the time, so we brought them, Tsum said. Now, Kureheim, what the hell happened? There was this bright flash of light, then when I went to see what it was, you both were unconscious, Anko said. Well, I was teaching Otoro to access his chakra. The next thing I knew, we were inside this place that had 3 doors. One said strength, one said courage, and one said memories. I tried them all but only one was open, she said. What happened next, Anko said. It was Otoro's memories. I guided him through until I heard a voice welcoming us. We followed the voice until we found it. Kurenai stopped. What it was? Kurenai looked at Naruto, then at Anko. You all must promise not to say anything about this, they all promised. Have you all noticed how gets treated differently? Always beaten until he was unconscious, she asked. I have seen it happen once, and was so mad that he completely destroyed the person's brain. I threw up from what that person did to him, Ino said. The same thing happened with Hinata when she saw that happen, Hayashi said. Well, the reason for that is because 5 years ago she was cut off. Kurenai, do you think this is a good idea? The Hokage asked. No disrespect to Hokage, but your plan didn't work too well. We have to tell them the truth if we ever have any true friends, Kurenai said. I know, but this could have a negative effect, he said. Honestly, how much different can they treat him from how he is already treated, Anko asked. Fine, I just hope this is the right thing to do, the Hokage said. Me to Kurenai said, well, 5 years ago the village was attacked by Kyubi no Kitsune and the Yondaime fought against him but couldn't beat him, so he sealed Kyubi inside a kid. She stopped and looked at how they was taking this so far. They all looked like they realized what was going to be said and looked horrified also. The only kid born that day was, well, at least that was what the council said, so the baby used was. She stopped again. Naruto, then Hinata whispered. Right, Kurenai said. The next thing anyone knows, Hinata, Ino, Tenten, and Hana were across the room hugging Naruto, crying. The adults just looked at them. The boys just looked as if they were in deep thought, and Naruto looked terrified that they might kill him. Naruto-skin, you're no monster, Hinata said. That's right, you're a good kid, just misunderstood, Tenten said. I can't believe this village is so stupid to blame you for that, Ino said. We will protect you and be your friend, Hana said. Girls, please go back to your parents. He is already terrified from the attention. He doesn't need you all crushing him to death, Anko said. Sorry, they mumbled and went back to their seats. Naruto, you're a kid just like us, and the second youngest. You just had bad luck being born that day. You're one of us and always be Choji. Don't bother with listening to this troublesome village. We are your true friends. As long as we are here, you will never be alone, Shikamaru said. Naruto, thank you for keeping us safe, Shino said. Well, that went better than I thought it would, Kurenai said. Yes, and I'm glad they accepted him, the Hokage said. Me too. Once he gets used to them and learns to trust them, they will all be the best of friends, Anko said. I have more, Kurenai said. What's that? The Hokage asked. Well, we made a deal with Kyubi. Before you yell out Hokage, this was done for Naruto's protection, and there is no reversing it, Kurenai when she saw the Hokage about to blow a blood vessel. Now the deal was that Naruto gets access to the equivalent of 2 kages of chakra from him to use freely, and he is also able to use the Kyubi's eyes as if they was a, Kurenai said. What does Kyubi get from Anko? Senses. Whatever Naruto tastes, feel, hear, see, and smell he does, basically anything that has to do with the basic senses, and he gets to talk freely to him in his mind, but I made him promise not to try and take Naruto over Kurenai. Was that the best idea to do? The Hokage said. Well, I did it looking out for me and Anko won't always be here to protect him when he needs us, and we can't always count on the clans to protect him from the council. Eventually they will find a way to blame him for something or try and have him killed. I'm just preparing him for something that we all know will happen, Kurenai said. I for one think it was a good idea. I mean, if any one of us had the Kyubi sealed inside us, we can't honestly say we wouldn't try and get access to his chakra. This way Kyubi has a little more freedom than spending all Naruto's life being used. Trust me, that will only give Kyubi a reason to try and take him over, Anko said. I also believe it was the right thing to do, since this will give him a way to protect himself from the Uchiha who we all know have been trying to kill him since he was born, Hayashi said. Okay, is there anything else? The Hokage asked. Yes, he wants to make the Kitsune eyes and everything that comes with it a bloodline, and I'm getting a contract, Kurenai said. Contract? Some asked. Yes, the Kitsune have a contract. It's a family contract used by a family in the old whirlpool. The last to sign it was Kushina. They are not a fighting summon but a tracking summon, and according to Kyubi even better at it than the K9, Kurenai said. Kushina? The Hokage asked. Yes, Kurenai said. That's all? Anko asked. Nope, one more thing. Kyubi is also part of the summoning. He agreed to let me and Naruto and our family sign it only if we summon him as a small harmless kitsune, she said, putting an emphasis on harmless. The Hokage thought about this. As long as he stays away from where people can see him, then that's fine, the Hokage said. Not like that will matter anyway. We already made the deal, so no matter what you say it will happen. Both me and are bound by our word, Kurenai said. Hold on, if Kyubi is a summon, did Kushina summon him? Yugogo asked. No, actually he said he was forced to summon an Uchiha that has something called the Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan. Whatever that, Kurenai said. Kakashi's eyes widened. Are you sure he said that? Are you sure it was the Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan? He asked Kurenai. Yes, why? Kurenai asked. Because only one Uchiha in history has had it, Kakashi said. How do you know? What? Anko asked. Because Obito told me all about it, and how forbidden it was. He said the only way to get it is by taking the Manjikyu from your blood brother and combining it with your giving you 4 eyes to prevent you from going blind from the Manjikyu Sharingan, Kakashi said. Who was the person? Kurenai asked hesitantly. Madara Uchiha. Yes, the very same that fought the Shodai for power of Konoha when it was first created over 80 years ago, Kakashi said. How is that possible? The Hokage asked. No clue, what? Kakashi said. There was a big puff of smoke and a snake and Kitsune were there. I'm looking for Kurenai, Kitsune said. That's me, Kurenai said. Here is the Kitsune contract as promised. Thankfully, Kurenai looked at the names on the scroll. They were Kushina, the same Kushina Ozumaki that came from Whirlpool. The very same one, you know, Kitsune asked. That's what her son, Kurenai said. He does smell like her, Kitsune said, then disappears with the scroll that Kurenai signed. I can't believe Kushina had a Kitsune contract, some said. Who is Kushina Hinata? That was. She disappeared after giving birth. No one truly knows if she is dead or not, but most think she is, Kurenai said. Well, forget about that right now, it's not the time or place. Why is the snake here? The Hokage said. I'm here to give a message to Anko, the snake said. What's the message? Anko asked. Tell Sensei that there is no way in hell I'm coming back. I already lost everything to that village. I am not going to lose the last person I have. Either me nor Shizen are coming back anytime soon, the snake said. It also threw the scrolls at Anko. She needs those back when you're done, and you're not to show those to anyone. The snake then disappeared. How did she know I asked her to come back? Don't know, but Kureheim, these are those chakra scrolls I asked for, Anko said, looking at them. Well, he hasn't gained access to his chakra yet, Kurenai said. Well, when he does we have scrolls, Anko said. Can we go home now? Kurenai asked. Sure, just be careful when you train him, the Hokage said. Don't tell those jerks about this or I will have one of these kitsunes find both Jiraiya and Tsunade, and tell them you lied about Kurenai being threatened. Deal, the Hokage said quickly. Anko, can you ask Tsunade-sama for medic scrolls so I can learn from them, Tenten said. Sure, I'll ask her the next time I send her a letter, Anko said. Otosan asked if I could learn medicine, Hinata asked. What do you mean out in the open? I already know you have been studying medicine secretly, Hayashi said. How, Hinata asked. You're my daughter. I know these things, and you can study medicine, but I'm going to increase your Juken training, Hayashi said. Deal, Hinata said. Otosan Ino was cut off. I don't care if that's what you want, then you can, Inoichi said. I'm already in vet training, so I guess I could study to be a medic also, Hana said. If you want, Sam said. Okay, I'm going home. We still have plenty of light to train, Kurenai said. Kurenai will put Naruto through the CRA, the Hokage asked. Norway will have enough trouble with one person, he doesn't need another one, Kurenai laughed. I would agree, Anko said. Okay, remember nothing said leaves this room, the Hokage said. It was a month before Naruto's 6th birthday. Kurenai was in Hayashi's office talking about a mission he wanted done. Kurenai, you had a few months to learn to use your new contract. Now would you be willing to help me with something I need tracking, Hayashi said. Sure, Kurenai said. Okay, I need you to track down Tsunade and bring her back here not only for Naruto's birthday but also because in a few months the girls have learned so much in medics at such a rate I fear that they will soon have nothing else to learn without having a medic to train them, and I believe the medics at the hospital are lacking to be a great teacher. For them, Hayashi said. How exactly did you get this pass? The Hokage Kurenai asked. Hayashi shrugged, mentioning trying to get one of the senins back here and he will let you do almost anything as long as you don't mention Naruto, Hayashi said. Fine, I'll do it. I think meeting her will be good for his development anyway, Kurenai said. Okay, you leave as soon as possible, Hayashi said. What if she doesn't want to come back, Kurenai said. Do whatever you must to get her here. This is an S-ranked mission and you will be paid on her coming here. I don't care what it takes, Hayashi said. Right, Kurenai left and went to her house. Hein, where are you? She yelled. Walking in the front door. We are in the back, Anko yelled back. Kurenai walked to the back to find Anko and Naruto practicing the 5th dance of snake-style taijutsu. I have a mission, Kurenai said. How long? Anko asked. Don't know, but I will be back before Ototo's birthday, Kurenai said. What kind of mission? Anko asked. Tracking for Hayashi. He wants me to try and bring Tsunade back to train the girls and medics. Well, that's the official reason anyway, Kurenai said. Oh, be careful, Kurenai, Anko said, hugging her and giving her a quick kiss. Bye, will you bring me something back? Naruto said. Don't I always, and you still haven't worn the last gift I brought you back, Kurenai said, kissing him on the top of his head. Nei-chan, I told you I would wear it, Naruto said. I know it will be good for him, Kurenai. I'm always good, Naruto said. You better leave if you're going to try and find her in a month, Anko said. Summoning no, Kurenai summoned a kitsune that came to her waist. Can you help me track someone? She asked. Of course, do you have a picture or something I can follow the scent from? Well, I'm looking for Tsunade of the Senins, Kurenai. Oh well, hope everyone knows what she looks like, Kitsune said. By home then, Kurenai and the kitsune were gone. Well, let's finish up training, then we can go to the park, Anko said. Okay, Nei, Naruto said. A week later in Port City Casino, Tsunade was playing the slot machine. Shizen was standing behind her with Tuntun in her arms. Tsunade pulled the lever and won. Tsunade just looked as the coins came rolling out the machine. Shizen looked excited and pulled out a large bag and started to fill it with the coins. I have a bad feeling, Tsunade said. Nonsense, you just finally won, Shizen said. Tsunade put another coin and then pulled the lever again and won again. Shizen, we are leaving, Tsunade said. Why did you just win twice? Shizen said. That means someone is looking for me, Tsunade said. Someone is always looking for you, Shizen said. No, I mean here in Port City. Someone knows we are here, Tsunade said. How could anyone have found you? Shizen asked. Hey miss, you can't bring your pet in here, yelled the doorman. You don't stop me and it's not a pet, Kurenai replied. Miss, I will ask you again to remove your pet or be thrown out, the guard said. Kurenai asked. By us, Kurenai turned and saw 3 missing nins who were hired to work at this casino. Really, you can try, Kurenai said. Don't say we didn't warn you, one said. They disappeared and attacked Kurenai from different sides. Kurenai went through some hand signs, and flower petals escaped, Kurenai said. Her and the kitsune dissolved in pink flower petals, tree binding of death, and she caught all 3 of them in the. Hold it, Kurenai, don't kill them, Tsunade said, walking up to them. Tsunade-sama, I need to talk to you, Kurenai said. Why, and stop calling me Sama. I hate that, it's bad enough Shizen, who is like a daughter to me, won't stop calling me that, Tsunade asked. Kurenai ended her. Let's get out of here, it's kind of hostile, she said. You think you just were about to kill the 3 guards, Tsunade said. They shouldn't have gotten in my way, Kurenai said. Let's go. And how do you summon kitsunes? The only person who could summon them is dead, Tsunade said. Well, I can't tell you that just yet, but I am here to ask you to come back to Konoha, Kurenai said. No, I'm not going back there. Didn't that snake tell Anko what Tsunade said already? Yes, but please, this is important, Kurenai said. Well, tell me, Tsunade said. I can't, I'm forbidden to say it, but please trust me. I can make it worth your while, Kurenai said. Tsunade asked. I'm not here for the Hokage, but Hayashi Hyuga officially he wants you back to train Hinata, Ino, Tenten, and Hana in medics because of the rate they are learning from the scrolls. He fears that there is no one in Konoha that's able to teach them the things they need to succeed in the area, Kurenai said. I understand all that, but how is this worth my while, Tsunade asked. Aside from having 4 medics you know will be able to handle any situation, Hayashi will pay off all your debt you collected from the last 6 years, Kurenai said. Tsunade asked. All of it, Kurenai said. I won't have to go into my family's savings, Tsunade asked. Not unless you want to, Kurenai said. Tsunade thought about it. His only motivation, Tsunade asked. Kurenai breathed slowly. No, I have a reason for you to come back also. But I can't tell you. It's more of a surprise, Kurenai said. Tsunade thought about it again. Why not, Tsunade-sama, only for a few months to train these girls and to see her surprise. And you get your debt cleared, Shizen said. Fine, but only until the end of the year, Tsunade said. Thank you, Kurenai said. This will be the best birthday present ever. Birthday present. Kurenai's eyes widened. Should I have to go shopping? I need a present. Damn it, what to get him? Kurenai said frantically. Calm down, Kurenai. We can go shopping here. They have great trade shops here, Kitsune said. You're right, you don't mind going shopping so I can get mine as a present, do you, Kurenai? Not at all, we will pick him up as a present also, Tsunade said. Thankfully, he is also training to become a shinobi, Kurenai said. On October 1st, the 3 kunoichis were walking up to the gate. Tsunade, can you and Shizen put up until tomorrow, Kurenai asked. Tsunade asked. I told you that you were a surprise for not only me but also for the girls. They look up to you as a hero, Kurenai said. Fine, Tsunade said. Also, he has trust issues and is terrified of adults. I'll tell you his story after you meet him, Kurenai said. Okay, Tsunade said. Oh, and don't make any notion that you know anyone here. Act like you're just meeting everyone to help sell the idea, Kurenai said. Fine, stop with all the rules, Tsunade said. They walked up to the gate. Hello, Shikaku, they are with me. They are extended family here for a visit, Kurenai said. Shikaku looked at them then shrugged. Me and the family will be over at 6 tomorrow for the party, he said. Okay, don't forget to remind everyone else please, Kurenai said. Don't worry, I won't, Shikaku said. Really, you know how important this is, Kurenai said. I know, now get going before you draw too much attention, Shikaku said. They walked to Kurenai's house. Home, I'm home, she yelled. Oh, I forgot, me and Anko are kind of dating, she whispered. We didn't need to know what Tsunade said. Nei-chan Naruto ran through the kitchen from the yard and jumped on her in a hug. Welcome home, Kurenai, Anko said. Hi, I miss you too, hi, Kurenai said. Nei-chan, who are they? Naruto asked. Everyone frowned at that stutter. What have we told you about what Kurenai said? But Nei-chan, he whined, still carefully watching the two. Kurenai, you know how he is around people, especially people he doesn't know, Anko said. Kurenai sighed. They are my extended family here for a visit, Kurenai said. Come on, take him away so I can set up, Anko said. Fine, I want to go to the park or visit your friend Kurenai. Naruto frowned. The park Nei-chan, Naruto said. Kurenai looked at Anko. They all were busy. You know, she hinted towards the decorations. Oh well, let's go. You can come with us or stay, Kurenai said. The four walked to the park. The three kunoichi sat on the bench as Naruto played by himself. Tsunade frowned. She was having a hard time keeping her strong. What the hell, she asked Kurenai. I told you it would be worth your while to come back, and the Hokage did forbid me and Anko from mentioning him to you or Jiraiya, Kurenai said. How long? Tsunade left her sentence off. 5 years until I finally snapped and had enough. And I wasn't the only one. You will meet the rest tomorrow, Kurenai said. Tsunade asked. I know, but I had to save up money, and I'm only 18. What did you want me to take care of while I was a genin with no parents or money? Kurenai asked. No, you did the right thing, but Kakashi, Tsunade asked. The council kept him out of the village as much as possible, Kurenai said. They went back to watching Naruto in silence. He was enjoying himself until Sasuke walked up to the park. Damn it, Kurenai cursed. What, Shizen asked? Hey dope, you're in my way, move, Sasuke said. Naruto recoiled and moved away as fast as possible. Please leave me alone, he said through tears. Why should I? He asked, getting ready to punch him. Touch me and you will have more problems than you can deal with, Kurenai said. What, you're going to hit me, he taunted. No, I will, Tenten said, punching Sasuke in the face, knocking him down. If I ever see you trying to bully my friend, I will make you pay, she threatened. Do you know who I am, he said, standing up and getting in her face. The prototype jerk-ass and bastard of the Uchiha clan, she said. Why did he hit her in the face? Tenten got up and jumped at him, punching him in the stomach. Tenten then grabbed her scrolls. She was about to summon her weapons when she was stopped. Sasuke, next time I won't stop her, not get out of my sight, Kurenai demanded. Sasuke got up and ran off. You okay, she asked. What did I do to him? He cried out through his tears. Nothing, he is just doing this because he knows you're afraid of him. Kurenai said, getting on her knees and pulling him onto her lap. Got you your safety, she said. Kurenai is going to be okay? Tenten asked, worried about him. Yes, thank you, Tenten, for what you did. I can't hit him no matter how much I want to. Kurenai said. I'll do it anytime I see him messing with my friend. I worked too hard for him to have confidence in himself for that jerk-ass to ruin it, Tenten said. We all did. All we can hope is that one day Naruto gets the confidence to stand up to him like we know he can, Kurenai said. Well, I have to get home for dinner. It's bringing me over at 6, Tenten said. Okay, thank you again, Kurenai said. Tenten ran off. Now you see why the Hokage was so terrified to tell you and Jiraiya about him, Kurenai said. Tsunade was seething, ready to rip a few Uchihas apart for what she just saw. Only a few hours, Tsunade, hold it in for a few hours, she mumbled to herself. Let's go back to your house. If I stay out here any longer, someone is going to die, she said. That wouldn't be a bad idea. That damn Sasuke always finds a way to know where he is and bully on him. He only does it when he knows someone who can hit him ain't around, to Kurenai said. I see why you didn't want to come back. Not even 2 hours and I want to kill someone, Shizen said. Oh, tomorrow you're going to want to destroy this damn village, Kurenai said. They walked back to the house where Anko had finished setting up the yard. Hey, I'm finished, she looked at Naruto. That damn Uchiha, she asked. Kurenai just nodded while walking up the stairs to his room. I swear I can't wait till he puts that bastard in his place, Anko said. The next day of Naruto's birthday, he was afraid to come out of his room. Kurenai literally had to force him to wash up and get dressed. He did request to wear the all-white outfit she bought him. They played card games for the next few hours. The time of the party came, and soon all the kids and every adult he started to trust was there. They were sitting in the backyard waiting for him to open his present. Hold on to the before you open your presents. I have a special present for you, Kurenai said. Really, what's that, he asked. Well, you know those 2 people I was with, and the 2 I said were my extended relatives, she said. Yes, he said. Well, they are not my relatives, she said. The 2 walked up. Well, at first we didn't want to come, but with persuasion and a promise by Hayashi Hyuga we decided to come, Tsunade said. What's the surprise, Naruto asked. Well, Shizen ended her. I'm Shizen, the apprentice of Tsunade the Sennin, Shizen said. Tsunade cancelled her appointment. And I'm Tsunade of the Senins, the world's best medicine, she said. Naruto's eyes widened with fear. They just didn't finish his sentence as he passed out. Tsunade's sweat dropped. Not the welcome I wanted, she said. Well, due to his past it's expected, Kurenai said. How did you get her back, the Hokage said. It was harder than I would have liked, but due to her natural caring nature and a promise I made it possible, Kurenai said. Why do I have the feeling I want like this, Hayashi said. Well, you're the one who said do anything I can and you don't care how I do it as long as I get her back, Kurenai said. Okay, what was this promise, Hayashi asked. That you pay off all her debt from the last 6 years, Kurenai said. What are you serious about? Hayashi yelled out, scaring Hinata. Hey, you should have been more careful in your description, Kurenai said. Well, that's what it took to get you here. How long you're staying? The Hokage asked. For the rest of the year, Tsunade said. Wait a minute, I'm not paying that all, Hokage, since you're part of the reason she left, and it was so hard to get back. I think you should at least pay 40% of the debt, Hayashi said. What, no way, this was a mission you sent her on. You have to pay for it, the Hokage said. I don't care, but I'm not teaching anyone medicine until it gets paid off, Tsunade said. Fine, this is something Hinata wants, so I will pay for it, Hayashi said. Sensei, I will teach the medics at the hospital if you pay me, Tsunade said. How much, the Hokage asked. The equivalent of what his medical bills were for the past 6 years, Tsunade said. That was over 5 million, the Hokage said. 5 million, impossible. He is not big enough to even have a bill of over 100,000, Tsunade said. Well, I'm no medic and the report for him came to 5 million, the Hokage said. Well, will you take it or not? Tsunade asked. Fine, the Hokage said. You okay, Anko asked. Nay, they just changed like the spinning eyes, Naruto said. I should have mentioned that for you not to do that, Kurenai cursed. More Uchiha's doing, Shizen asked. Yes, he is terrified of the Sharingan or any Uchiha for that matter, Kakashi said. Well, let's finish opening presents we have tomorrow for that story. This is his first birthday party, and I want it to be perfect, Kurenai said. Open mine first, Gaki Anko said. Naruto tore the paper off slowly and carefully. Once it was off, he opened the lid off the box. Inside was an all-black shinobi outfit complete with the belt and the straps for 2 katanas on the belt. Nay, this is great, Naruto said, hugging Anko. Mine next, Kurenai said. Naruto also opened this one slowly and carefully. The present was a katana. Nei-chan, he asked, confused. Well, every great shinobi has a weapon, but that katana was once used by the very first Uzumaki. It cost me $1 million to buy, Kurenai said. Thank you, he said, hugging her. From Yugago he got 2 full sets of shurikens, kunais, and senbons and a promise to teach him to use them. Hinata got him a book on different seals. Tenten got him staff, but this staff allowed him to make it 3 feet long and came with a case to put on his back. She promised to show him how to use it. Hana gave him a training manual on how to train different types of animals to be partners. It even had a section on kitsunes which she bookmarked for him. Shino got him a coat and a pair of glasses like his. Shikamaru got him a chess game and a book that told him how to play. Choji got him some recipe books. The parents gave him a pass that allowed him to come into their compound anytime he needed to. The Hokage gave him a replica of the Hokage's hat and robe. He immediately put it on, of course it was way too big for him. Shizen gave him a scroll that told him how to train in whatever element he was, which was promptly taken by Anko along with his weapons until he was ready for them. Tsunade got him a shinobi survival kit. Kurenai stood up in front of everyone. Hey, I have something to say, she said. Everyone turned and looked at her. I know this is hard but it has been an entire year since I decided it was time for a change in the way he was treated. And to be honest, I knew it would be hard, but I didn't know it would be this hard to change his outlook on people. Adults specifically, she then blinked away a tear. On this day a year ago, Naruto was so terrified of me that I had to demand him to come to me just so he can see that not all adults hate him. When I hugged him, I felt his body stiffen as if he expected me to hit him. When he got free, he ran. She had tears running down her face. I should have followed him, but I didn't. Then I found out he was in the hospital unconscious, and I was so scared when he didn't wake up after a few hours. I refused to leave the hospital without him. Everyone else started to cry also. Finally, when he woke up, I just wanted to jump for joy, and that also was the first time I heard him talk without fear in his voice. Then he was afraid because I have red eyes. After some prodding, he told me why he was afraid of the Sharingan, and I will say this: all Uchiha have lost what respect I had for them. Kurenai said this hotly. I went to his apartment and nothing in it worked. He had no heat, no hot water. His door didn't even shut at that point. I snapped and yelled at the Hokage for how Naruto was being treated. The next day Anko came over to my house, and when I introduced her to Naruto, the look of rejection on Anko's face when Naruto ran away from her in fear was almost heartbreaking. But that was when everything changed for Naruto, she finished. If you all think I was treated badly because of Orochi theme, what I witnessed him go through was 1,000 times worse, Anko said. I know the only people in this world that trust are me and him, but please be patient with him. We are trying to fix the damage caused by this village, and you know something of this scale takes time, Kurenai said. We will be as patient as we have to be, Hayashi said. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic. Link is in the description. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.